Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I'll come under personal explanation. And I think it's very important at this hour. Thank you very much first for the very clear and then listening to the voice of Nigerians. But again, on the same subject matter, there's an issue going on around the country that we are giving $10 million leadership or the National Assembly. And it has gone viral. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that as far as I'm concerned, dying has not reached to me. Nobody has negotiated anything to me. I acted in the interest of Nigeria and in the collective interest of our nation. And for anybody to make that kind of insinuation, Mr. Speaker, he has breached my privilege, and I think it should not go like that. I want to plead again that the House should set up a committee to investigate this very spurious allegation, and if possible, take legal measures. This is to stem people who will think they will just go to the corridor of the press and make a spurious statement against Nigerians. We have our integrity, we have our faces, and I can raise my head high up anywhere, anytime, anywhere. And I want to say, dying, and I have never gone to any negotiation with anybody on this particular bill. Thank you for this, my own point of observation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I personally think, and once again, I think, and many members have also showed concern, but sometimes in life and in politics, there's some things that are best ignored. Because when you elevate, when you address certain things, you elevate and give credibility to those purveyors of those of the news. But be that as it may, I think the allegation, however ridiculous it sounds, may also maybe worth investigating, like the Deputy Speaker has said. Unfortunately, we don't have a culture of litigation in this country. Otherwise, so many of these things would have been abated if rapid and quick resort to the judiciary was adopted. But that's not, for many reasons, that is not done. But that's a possibility in this case. A very, very, very good, very, very strong possibility. And maybe some people should, so an example should be set. For me, this is all they have done. All they have done is to give credence to those who believe social media should be regulated. That's all they've done. You know, the same people who claim, oh, you cannot regulate social media, or you cannot regulate fake news, are the same people who are actually engaging in those activities. So they're hurting themselves. In a bid to hurt the House and the leadership and members of the House, they end up shooting themselves in the foot. So even for those who did not even think of giving the social media regulation the second look, you have now encouraged them to actually look at it and the damage it may cause if if it goes unregulated. So I think we will, as played by the, yes, leader.
Sorry, I agree in total with the confessions and the statements of the leader, of the the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. I think further to that, I need to add clearly and put on record, while he was making his submission, he said, nothing has been given to me whatsoever. I rise, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the 10-member leadership of this House of Representatives, to say very clearly that no dime or kobo has been given to any one of us. We are doing this in our commitment and resolve to serve our nation. This is a bill that we feel that can go a long way in really protecting the lives and well-being of our people. Nothing more, nothing less, Mr. Speaker. And I want to add to what he said, that this should not be left at the level of clarification on the Green Chamber of the House of Representatives. We must have to take legal means, legal actions, to protect our integrity. We have moral responsibility and moral commitment to protect the integrity of our persons and the integrity of our respective families. We also have earned a very, very reputable status in our various businesses and in our various pursuits in politics. Allowing somebody as a person, an individual on the street, to just put on record that something of this nature happened to us, I think is something that we should not take lightly. Mr. Speaker, I will have to put my weight behind the statement of the Deputy Speaker that this House must take a drastic action to protect the integrity of the leadership, whose integrity has now been fingered, and by extension, the integrity of this institution has been put at stake. Mr. Speaker, this is my submission, and I hope members will help us put their weight together and let's speak for ourselves. If nobody speaks for us, Mr. Speaker, I think we have a duty to speak for ourselves.
I think I agree with the Deputy Speaker and the leader, and maybe as an exception, maybe we'll take one or two other comments for you. And I think the allegations are weighty enough to pursue legal remedies. I think that will serve as a lesson to many others out there. The Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Social media news. Bill Gates offered House of Representatives $10 million bribe for speedy passage of the compulsory vaccine bill. If you go down, he was specific by saying that the leadership. Mr. Speaker, let me, on behalf of my colleagues in the opposition, and also the members, I've taken time since yesterday to call them, those I could get on phone, to confirm if they got anything. And they're all here, and they can affirm to the fact that they did not get a dime from anybody, including even those who are in APC that are here and members of House of Reps. I equally spoke to some of them, and none of them got anything. In addition, Mr. Speaker, they also alleged that the day Bill Gates Foundation came to House of Reps, that all of us were in attendance, and that was where the thing kick-started. Mr. Speaker, I also want to submit that at no point did such a thing happen. And I am standing by it on behalf of my colleagues that at no time did we even receive anybody nor receive any phone call or by way of meeting or by way of any form of inducement. What we have always done is the issue of joint tax. We in the opposition know what to do. But because of the joint tax, we'll try as much as possible for the purpose of ensuring that we'll give good governance to Nigerians. And we'll come here and do things collectively. And if you remember, sir, if for anything, both some APC members and some members of opposition came up to say, look, let us don't consider this. It was not on the basis of whether anybody was giving any money. So I want to submit that we did not receive any money, and I stand by it. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Obina.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, please, I rise this morning for the simple fact that I've been inundated with calls. We've asked my constituents and every Nigerian to be on lockdown. And many of them will call us and say we need money to survive. Now, on the pages of the papers, they've claimed they've given us the $10 million. In fact, the actual thing is that it's not they've given the House the $10 million, that probably I've gotten a large share, and I'm here in Abuja enjoying the $10 million, while they are at home suffering from the lockdown. And from what we see so far, technology has made it possible that we can identify those who are the purveyors of this false news. And I think we should not let it go. We must set example. Even if it takes 10 years in court, once we enter that court matter or the court process, every other person will know that we are listening and we are taking it serious. And issues that has to do with the bill itself, I'm so happy that, in fact, the discussion I'm having this morning, in the body of your letter this morning, you have addressed all of it. And I'm happy about that, and I want to thank you for it and thank my honorable colleagues, and let's pursue this to a logical conclusion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. Let's not let this not result in a debate, because we have our guests who are waiting by the door there. We will take speedy legal action. Let me put the question. Let me put the question so that it will be a house thing. Those who are in favor that this house, that we take up this matter to the possible level of litigation, please say aye. Those against say nay. Okay, the ayes have it.